Hey guys, this is going to be video number 4 in the Liminal Meditation series I was putting up. Topic for this video is going to be about accessing Hypnagogia. So when it comes to that, there's a couple different ways to do it. You have the Salvador Dali Thomas Edison approach, and then you have the meditative approach. Obviously, I'm kind of biased towards the meditative approach, and if you're doing this for lucid dreaming, a meditative approach is definitely a lot better. But the one thing the Dali Edison way has over the other way is that it's a guaranteed way to at least witness hypnagogia, even if it's only, momentarily. The way you do it is you want to sit in a recliner, hold something heavy in your hands. Like I think one of them would hold like ball bearings and the other one would hold like a heavy metal key. You want to make sure that on the ground below you isn't carpet. You want to have like tile or maybe a metal plate of some sort so that when you fall asleep, your grip loosens, you drop whatever's in your hands. It will hit the ground, make a loud noise, and wake you up. And when it does that, you can immediately try to recall to a moment before you woke up, and that stuff that was going on in your head, that's hypnagogia. The problem with that is, man, you're really only there for like a moment, when if you did it the meditative way, you could learn to actually get to hypnagogia and stay there for basically as long as you want. When it comes to the meditative approach, you basically want to try and have your body fall asleep while your mind stays awake. So anchor your awareness to something, aka meditate, follow your breath, do whatever it is you want. If you have your own meditative approach, just stick with that. If not, I'll give you my approach here in a second. So say you're following your breath, your body starts to fall asleep. Once that starts to happen, hypnagogic images will start to break through and start to appear. Once those are there, then you switch your anchor from, say, your breath to now following those images. Before we get to my technique, let's talk a little bit about preparation. And I find these preparations tend to work good for pretty much any type of meditating you're doing, except for maybe the whole lie down and get comfortable part. But basically you want to have a plan. So you want to have an approach for how you plan to meditate essentially. It's always good to have an empty stomach. If your stomach's really full or if you ate a lot, it's just hard to really relax and drift off towards sleep. You'll be a little bit uncomfortable. Or if you're like me, I get crazy heartburn and that sucks and is very distracting. So you want to have at least not a full stomach, so mostly empty. Lie down and get comfortable. You don't want to be moving around too much, at least in the beginning. As you get more used to this and your hypnagogia gets more robust, you'll be able to adjust and move if you get uncomfortable while maintaining mental imagery. But in the beginning, that's pretty much a surefire way to, blank everything out and wake yourself up too much. And then once you start, demarcate that start and go. All right, so when it comes to anchoring awareness, I like to keep my approach, or, maybe you could even say meditation here, as simple and as straightforward as possible, with the idea of if you've never meditated in your life, you could hear this, go home tonight and give this a try. So first of all, I'll start off by lengthening my breath, trying to get the body calm and relaxed. So I'll do that for a couple of minutes. Then I'll start to follow my breath. I like to do that with mental noting. So you could say like in on the inhale, out on the exhale. You could count your breaths. You could use affirmations along with the breath, whatever you want. The one thing I would say with the counting is if you're going to do that, go to 10, come back to 1. Don't try to count to 100 or something. Then once the mind starts to get quiet, then I'll switch to basically feeling it in the body. When I say that, I basically mean you're looking for a felt sensation of relaxation. So the way I like to do that is every time you exhale, try to relax the body as much as you can. I like to say to the point to where you're essentially plain dead, right? A good little trick I like to do here is you can put earplugs in your ears because it makes it a little bit easier to feel and hear your heartbeat. But one thing you can notice is when you inhale, your heartbeat will speed up a little bit, and when you exhale, your heartbeat will slow down a little bit. And it gets to its slowest point at the very bottom of your exhale. And then at the bottom of your exhale, you have this little gap between the exhale and the next inhale. So once I get to that gap, I like to basically play so dead, I just try to turn everything off in your body, and you can hear your heart beat that one last time. And then in between the next heartbeat, you just try to completely shut off everything except for that one little light of awareness in the back of your mind. And really, once you get to that point, hypnagogic images are probably there to be seen very soon, if not already there. So when it comes to waiting for images, I find that they tend to always first appear on an exhale. So that's be the good place to start looking for them. Also, when you're kind of peering behind your eyes, try to see depth. And then once images do come, that's when you can switch your anchor from, playing dead or following your breath or whatever to now following these images. So after that, when it comes to control, just you want to try and stay calm. Images will fade in and fade out. So, don't flip out if you catch a glimpse of it and then it disappear. What you're trying to do is build stability and confidence in this state. You want to train your mind to be able to find this perspective over and over again, essentially. Then when it gets to the real controlling these images, I basically like to work with influence. You're basically going to be trying to seed ideas, work with expectation, and, basically influencing, seeding ideas and work with expectation is going to be what the entire next video is going to be about. But until then, aloha.